What is going on, guys? Welcome back to Collective Comics and the Lights Comics Action Podcast. We are diving into episode number 45 here today. I am joined by the homie Jake.
The homie Jake,
just like every week.
Yep.
Every week, we're coming back at you with a new episode. So make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure you're following along because we're going to get into some juicy stuff today.
Yeah,
Man.
I want to say something right before we start, though.
What's up?
And I don't think you know about this. We don't talk about wrestling very much.
Not too often. I'm watching a little bit more now. I have a little bit more time on Saturdays.
One of my favorite wrestlers and one of my wife's favorite wrestlers, Bray Wyatt, died this past week.
Nuh-uh.
So I know he just had like a baby with his wife and all kinds of stuff. So thoughts out to them. We want to mention it. You know, we don't say it much, but we got Bray Wyatt right back here, so we gotta at least say something.
Yeah, man, I did not know this. This is the first. I'm busy. I'm still busy. I've been watching it more. This is the first that I'm hearing about this.
Well, he hasn't been on in a while. He had he had a heart attack or something in December, and then he was recovering, and then got COVID and had another heart attack. But he's 2 years older than me, so it's close. It's close, man.
Wow.
But
doesn't matter how much of a
stuff.
BA that you are, man. COVID is a nasty beast, and if you're already having heart problems, man, I think unfortunately, man, that sucks.
Right. But I want to say something, man. Yeah, if we talked about wrestling once a year, I feel like this is the topic I wanted to bring up. You know,
dude, I'm definitely down to talk about it a little bit more.
Yeah, we're gonna have to watch it more if we're gonna talk about it more. We're gonna have to like get together for pay-per-views or something.
Yeah, I've been watching, dude. Not gonna lie, I kind of liked the way that Logan Paul cheated. Because I was just like, I got so mad, and then I was like, that's what it's about.
Yeah, it's a very heel thing. You're like, that's crazy. That shouldn't happen. Like, that's exactly what it's supposed to do to you.
Yeah.
It's funny because like my wife will be like, I hate this person. I'm like, then he's doing his job. Like, you're supposed to hate certain people.
He's making you feel those things. Kind of going back to that Blue Beetle review when I was like, man, if you're gonna tug on my heartstrings and you're gonna really make me feel something, it's a good movie. You know, like you got me. Yeah. So that made me mad, and then I was like, but that's cool. Like, I've never been so encapsulated in a wrestling moment in recent years since I was a very young kid. And then I was like, I was texting you. We were watching that match, texting each other. And then that was the same night Jake Paul fought Nate Diaz. And I bought that
you never
fight.
Told me about that.
I thought it was.
You never told me who won. I fell asleep
towards the end of the round.
Okay. Normal Collective Comics.
A little bit, yeah. But I did watch him. I watched him win. I watched the end of the last 2 rounds, but I kept like,
who won?
Doing this thing. Oh, it was Jake.
Jake won?
Yeah, you didn't hear about it? You didn't see it on TikTok?
I was waiting for you to tell me about it.
Oh, no, Jake won, bro.
That blows my mind.
I was really wanting Nate to win, but at the same time, I just kept thinking, I was like, Jake is a boxer.
Yeah, I didn't know it was boxing until like we were texting about it, and you're like, "Oh, it's a boxing match." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah, well, the thing that happened was you kind of were telling me about, and I was like, "Is this the one where he's supposed to go to the UFC?" And I thought he was going to be going to the UFC. So then, when I bought it, I was like, "Oh, it's the boxing match." So I was like, "Oh no!" Yeah. And then I had all these sorts of mixed emotions. I'm glad I didn't have money on the fight.
Yeah, right.
You know, because realistically, I probably would have had to put money on both sides. Like in 2 different bowls, you know, because like, yeah, dude, just because I was like, Nate, in a UFC match, in an MMA match, will whoop his butt any day.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
He can grab a hold of him and he's done. He did it towards the end. He kind of grabbed him and slammed him a little bit. It was a joke, you know. He already knew he was done. You know, they're just playing a show at that point.
So did it go to points? Did it go to decision, or did somebody get knocked out?
Yeah, no, it definitely went to points and decision, but it was very clear that Jake was the stronger fighter in the situation, just because he is a boxer. He knows how to move on his feet like that. You still got to move similar in the UFC, but you're looking out for a lot of different things. And Nate is a really good grappler.
Right. Yeah.
So his fighting technique and his wins depend very heavily on wearing his opponent out, grappling, and then knocking them out. So he couldn't do that with Jake, and Jake just was a tank the whole time. It kind of was disappointing.
Remember we went to Nashville. I think it was Nashville, and we got there like at a weird time. It was a weird day, and then we ended up looking for food, and the closest thing was like a Buffalo Wild Wings, and we had no idea. We're just like, it's here, let's get it. And we walked into a Nate Diaz fight, and he was like losing the entire match, like just getting beat up. And then in the final round, he just knocks the dude out.
Yep.
I'm like, yeah, this is I've watched UFC a little bit over the years, but I'm not like that into it. Unless somebody's getting knocked out like right away, like I'm not here for like just watching people roll around for 3 hours. But
I'll watch it. I get really, really into UFC. I used to wrestle in high school and middle school and play football and everything. So I was really, really into like the combat sports. And then I did karate when I was even younger than that. And now I'm, growing up, I was like, this is the real stuff. I got turned away from UFC at like 10 years, or not UFC, WWE at like 10 years old because my dad was like, that's not real. UFC's real.
Yeah.
So I kind of stopped watching, but now I like it just as much.
He says on a podcast about superheroes.
Yeah, right. We're talking all about UFC, man. But
I'm just saying, like, WWE's not real as we talk about superheroes every week.
Yeah, right. But he's like, yeah. But I think I kind of, once they said it, I saw it, and I was like, okay, I can see why you say that, And then watching UFC, I was like, oh no, that dude's really bleeding and broke his nose and with a fist, not with a ladder.
But I also just think it's crazy. Like the people are like, WWE's fake, like point blank. Period. It's like, yeah, it's decided, but like these people are ripping their triceps off their bones to like be entertaining for you. You know what I mean? Like it's not.
They're still like, flipping. They're still punching.
Most of the hits and like falls and all that stuff isn't fake. It's
they still hurt.
Yeah, it's just decided. Like they know who's gonna win, and they're agreeing on what moves to do and stuff like that. But
think about just tripping over a curb off of a sidewalk and like hitting your shoulder on the ground. You know what I'm saying? Imagine doing that from like 15 foot in the air. Even though that board goes down a little bit.
Yeah, there's like a little spring.
Hurt, man. Yeah, I mean, it's gotta hurt.
You say you wrestled. Like, remember the wrestling mat? It was like 2 inches thick, and you get slammed on that thing.
It was just...
yeah, you get slammed from... You get slammed from the ground to the ground and get a concussion. You know what I mean? They're flying onto that mat. It's like crazy. Yeah.
Right. Let's grow this podcast so big that we can be WWE superstars.
I'm working on it, man.
Dude, I'm down. I'm just kidding. I'm down. But that's crazy, man. But with you saying that actually kind of gets me into something that I did want to talk about. Was I saw these WWE trading cards. Mm-hmm. So I almost picked those up, and now I kind of wish that I did.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, he's got to be sitting in there. He's got to be sitting in one of those packs that I was gonna buy.
Yeah, maybe.
But I didn't pick those up. I picked up the Marvel Annual 21-22 Upper Deck.
There you go. That's cool.
Boxes. I think it has, let's see here. It has 6 packs in this box and 5 cards per pack. And then I also picked up, this is what I went there for originally, and then I saw the annuals, and I was like, let's pick up the annuals. Let's see what happens. I got the Marvel Beginnings Upper Deck.
That's cool.
Trading card pack.
Is those like reprints or are those like still old cards?
These ones are brand new. These came out like last week. This has like cards from like August 18th that dropped. This is when that dropped.
Okay.
So I've been seeing these all over Instagram. Everybody's like, dude, they're selling them at Target for like $21 for this whole pack. 9 packs in this one with 5 cards per pack.
That's pretty cool.
And they're pretty sweet.
The art on those are always cool too. Upper Deck.
I was really digging them. So I couldn't wait. I was gonna make a unboxing video, and I couldn't wait. I was just way too excited. So I picked these two up But I'll show you some of the kind of pulls that we got. We got Abomination.
Okay.
In that like
just
reverse
like
foil.
Looking at the computer.
Right.
That's cool.
Can
though.
you see it pretty clear?
Yeah.
Abomination. This is Lady Deathstrike.
For
in the red back
audio
foil.
listeners, this is gonna be pretty unbearable, but
yeah, right. They're gonna have to check it out on YouTube because this is where it pays off. Is where we do like little box breaks, kind of.
Yeah, if you're into cards, come check out the YouTube. If you're not into cards, bear with us for a couple minutes.
Right. I want to get more into these cards, especially because the reason I picked these up is because I've been wanting to pick up a set of the 1993-94 Marvel Flair sets. One of the first print sets, and I want to pick up a full set of them. So I'm like, well, these are modern, and whether they're, valuable or not, I think they're kind of cool.
Yeah, the art's cool.
Exactly, especially like these foils and stuff. So these are the pulls that I got out of the pack. I like this one. This one's Cassandra Romulus. I just like the art on it. It's from the...
Yeah.
I can never say people's names right the first time.
That's kind of cool. What is she from?
Let me see here. I don't know. This is the red base.
It looks like almost like a Iron Fisty kind of outfit, or like a old X-Men kind of thing.
Shield.
Okay.
Shield 22 I think was her first appearance.
I don't even know who that is.
Me neither. She became European Warriors, sort of Hydra's Super Soldier program, 1991. She recorded Captain America's technique during his fight with Hydra. 1993, she went to recruit the immortal mutant Gideon and ran into S.H.I.E.L.D.
So she's not in S.H.I.E.L.D. She fought S.H.I.E.L.D. She's part of Hydra.
I guess
Hence
so.
the big H on her body.
It is a big H.
It just reminds me of that
funny.
old like Iron Fist outfit,
right? Yeah, but I really like these Marvel beginning or Upper Deck beginning ones. They are Marvel. This Man Thing one I thought was super super cool.
Yeah,
that's just a standard base set. So I kind of got into those a little bit more than I got into Pokemon. So I'm like, oh,
it's been an interesting year for you in cards. I feel like.
It definitely has ups and downs. I kind of stopped buying cards for a little bit. This is the first pack of cards that I've bought in probably 6 months.
Yeah.
I kind of stopped because I was like, I need to focus on comics, and my hero collectibles and the things that I like to collect. So this is kind of scratching that itch for trading cards that I was liking.
Just buy a big pack of them every once in a while.
Yeah, this is scratching that itch. And it's Marvel, so I feel like it kind of goes hand in hand, and I'm like, I can get into this. I can really get into this.
Yeah.
The one thing, besides this Marvel annual 20 year 22, I think Target just has backstock of those.
Oh, yeah, probably.
So this is from the previous year, so I'm like, they could have some good pulls in them. Who knows? It's kind of probably the end of them.
I just get put off by some of those sometimes because I know with like Magic and stuff, some of those bigger packs, like they just put the same thing in all of them. So
yeah,
like you could watch a video of somebody opening and you know exactly what you're gonna get before you get it. But if you just want to have them, like it's something super cool and easy,
Yeah. I got some doubles, but I only got, in that whole pack, I got like 2.
Oh, okay.
2 doubles, maybe.
Nice.
In both of those packs. So it wasn't too bad. And in this Upper Deck one, I'll pull it out. In this, they're both Upper Deck. In this Marvel Annuals one, I got that pull.
Oh, really?
I got the Hulk's. It's a sticker. It's a sticker card. So it's half a card, half a sticker. Where'd it go?
I wonder if it's in every box then.
Apparently it's a pull.
Really?
Yeah, so it's
That's
like
cool.
Find the reflection sticker.
Yeah, you just have to open it until you find it.
Right. Well, we'll see. Maybe I'll pick up another one, and if another Marvel Annuals box has it, then either I got really lucky or every box has a sticker.
That's the way to test it. Give them more money, and then we'll figure it out.
Yeah, I know with Upper Deck, I was watching Gem Mint's videos, and that's why I picked them up. He was saying that they kind of almost guaranteed 1 or 2 pulls every box.
Right on.
So with the amount that they printed. It depends on the rarity, but pulls, they have a lot of different chase cards that you can get.
Mm-hmm.
So there's guaranteed at least 2 to 3 of them. And I got the Marvel Beginnings ones. I got a lot of red backs, a lot of foils, a lot of reverse foils, and stuff like that. So I thought that they were really cool. The thing is that I didn't get to unbox them because I got too excited and I opened them, not on camera, and I felt bad. So I went back to actually go and get more of the Marvel cards, and something was calling my name, man.
What did you get now?
Something was calling my
What'd you
name,
get?
and I think I messed up because now I think I'm going to have to get into something else, man.
Okay.
And I'm going to have to
All
go
right.
and find all the old cards from my childhood. Bro, this was the only one sitting in the card section at Target. You know how Target has that whole section of trading cards and, baseball, UFC, football, all these different ones? This was the only one sitting on top of all these random boxes of cards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And I was looking for a price because I was like, they're probably expensive, because these ones were $20 a box. So I didn't think they were that bad because Pokemon can get pretty expensive. So I was like, I can do that. I'll do that,
Okay.
But this is the only one. So I was just like, you know what? I don't care. It's calling my name. It's the only one. I never, ever, ever see these anymore. I don't know if it's going to be a big thing now, but a box of Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh my god.
Chrome, bro. This is the Chrome pack. This is from Topps. They're making Garbage Pail Kids. Bro, I used to love these when I was a kid.
I can honestly say I never would have got to Garbage Pail Kids.
Really?
Based on how you built that up, I never would have guessed you were going to show me a box of Garbage Pail Kids cards.
Dude, I used to love this art. I think how I really like those indie comics that are kind of a little bit messed up and kind of gory and like horrific and a little terrifying and really messed up. I think this is where it stems from.
I think this is where it
stems
from. Garbage Pail
from.
Kids and Happy Tree Friends when you were younger, and
yeah. Well, I don't think Happy Tree Friends was out when I was younger, but Garbage Pail Kids was a big part of me growing up, and all my friends had it. We would trade the cards like no tomorrow, and I remember I don't even know if these cards were ever worth any money.
I mean, I watched Happy Tree Friends when in like 2006, and you were born in like 2008, so.
Oh, shut up!
So you had to have been out.
No, but I mean, I don't remember it that early. I think I remember watching it more in like 2014, but it might have been.
They used to have a video podcast, and like once a month a new episode would come out, and you just see them get annihilated in different ways, like that and Ask a Ninja. If anybody remembers Ask a Ninja, it was ridiculous. Like the first podcast, like video podcast, it's like Victory Records, Ask a Ninja, and Happy Tree Friends. I just watched all the time.
Really? There you go. But yeah, this kind of hit a little bit different.
Yeah,
this hit those hardcore feelings of like nostalgia, dude.
There you go.
So I
never
got so excited.
I never got into Garbage Pail Kids.
Oh, dude, I totally was like, oh, Jake would love to, because this is like, I feel like the kind of art that you like.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know. Weren't they like dolls or something?
There were Cabbage Patch Kids.
Yeah,
but all messed up and like in the garbage. Like
really?
They were thrown away. Yeah, like this one has his head exploding. Dude, I almost want to open them on this podcast just to show you.
Let's
what's
not
happening.
do that.
Okay.
We can film it after this if you want. I just don't want to. I don't want to do any more visuals for the audio listeners.
Okay, I feel that. But this is the Chrome set.
Yeah, right.
So, but there's a whole list of pulls on the back that you can get. There's a lot of different prisms and stuff.
Yeah.
But this is also scratching that nostalgia itch to the point where I'm like searching eBay looking for full sets of the first prints from when I was a kid, because I was like, I'm like remembering all these cards, and I haven't opened it yet, so it's killing me, and I have to open it like on Instagram or TikTok or something. I might do a live stream or something.
There you go.
Man. Yeah.
That's funny. That's so funny to me.
Got some hardcore trading cards, I guess. This is collective trading cards now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and the Lights Trading Cards Action podcast.
Lights wrestling action.
Lights wrestling action.
We've hit a couple things. I mean, if we stop getting movies and stuff, we might have to. I know we talked about cards a little bit. We talked about wrestling a little bit. We don't even talk about like actual like statues and collectibles as much as we'd like to. So with movies kind of getting canceled and pushed back and all kinds of things happening, we might have to expand and see these other things that we just touch on. And we talk about it all the time, but
yeah, I mean not so much on the podcast. I feel like we've always kind of saved trading cards and stuff like for off the podcast.
Right, that's what I'm saying. We talk about it a lot outside of the podcast. We keep the podcast pretty comics and movies and superhero, but we might have to get into some more stuff.
Yeah, some of the other stuff that we're into. It's not just comics. It's not just comics.
Yeah, I mean, episode 0 we said like everything like nerd culture and geek culture and everything, and we've stayed pretty superhero-y. Yeah.
But, yeah. I mean, I feel like that's kind of where it goes back to. I feel like that's our kind of the common ground where everything can kind of converge. That's where I was saying is that like I got super into Pokemon cards, and now the Marvel stuff is starting to happen a little bit more. So I might start picking up some boxes and
there we go.
Opening these opening boxes on YouTube. So who knows?
It'd be fun.
Let's follow the journey. Subscribe. Hit that button.
I think you have to teach me about some superhero stuff, though.
I do. Man, do you know what's going on?
You kind of started telling me about some stuff, and I was like, save it. I want to hear it on the podcast.
Save it, man. So we need to talk about ASM. ASM, and kind of what Marvel's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
So we are currently, this week, going to be getting ASM number 32. We get them every 2 weeks. And ASM 26, Marvel quoted, to quote Marvel, the biggest event in Marvel history since the Silver Age.
Really?
Yes. Biggest event in Marvel history.
What is Silver Age, just to refresh?
Silver Age is from, I forget what year exactly.
Right now.
That's where I get kind of confused because the Bronze Age kind of leaks into it.
According to Wikipedia, we got 56 to 70.
Yeah, so 50 years.
Okay. Yeah.
So over 50 years, they're quoting. I think that was literally the quote that they either tweeted out or something. The biggest Marvel event in 50 years since the Silver Age.
Do
you even know what's happening?
No, I don't.
Okay,
so you're... Just them saying that is like building up my expectations. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like, big time. Come on,
bro. Marvel. Don't not deliver now.
Right. So, ASM, we gotta kind of go back a few weeks a little bit to ASM 26. ASM 26. That is the book that they are talking about when they're saying that this is the biggest Marvel event in the last 50 years. So, we do whatnot. I picked up quite a few copies of them, and I really enjoyed the covers that they're doing because they put so much hype into this event. There's a lot of exclusives. There's just a lot to enjoy around this event, which I thought was pretty cool. They have these spoiler variants, all black, which, when you see all black, somebody's dying, right?
Yeah.
So ASM 26, we got a Spider-Gwen. We got the 1-in-25 ratio. And then we got the Peach Momoko. Spilling stuff. The Peach Momoko trade dress and virgin variant. They're limited. The trade dress is limited to 2,800. The virgin is limited to 999.
I really like that cover.
I love this cover.
I think it's cool because it's like in her style, but it's different from her style. It's almost like a collaboration, but
yes.
It's like her watercolory style, but with fine line work, which is cool.
Yeah, I love it. I think it's awesome.
I don't know about fine line work, but line work.
Yeah, it's great.
I don't think if it had like super clean lines, it would look as good. It's very artistic.
Yeah, and I love Peach Momoko.
Yeah,
I think you like Peach Momoko a lot.
We've had that talk. It's like,
yeah,
it's so. Yeah, I want to know what other people think. I mean, obviously, people love her. Anything she does, people gravitate towards. You know what I mean?
That set has hit prices of $75 on eBay.
There you go.
Which
Time to get them graded.
Well, that's what's happening is that she's doing a CGC signing, so people are buying into these and sending them right into CGC because these copies I have here, I've never touched them. They've never been out of the bag.
Right.
They're 9.8s, bro. Like if it's not a 9.8, like CGC's on some whack stuff, which we can talk about a little bit more. I got some more news with that, but this issue. Do you know what happened in this issue?
I know what you told me.
What did I tell you?
You told me about a new hero?
Not yet. So we know Kamala Khan is Miss Marvel, right?
Yeah.
So ASM 26 is the death of Kamala Khan. The death of Miss Marvel.
What?
She died.
What?
She died.
Okay. Interesting choice right before Marvels comes out, but...
Right, yeah.
Well, I guess
so this is ASM 26.
Maybe not right before. But.
Well, this is supposed to be the biggest event in the last 50 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people are kind of cashing in on these books, cashing in on these issues. This is what I have left over from stock, from picking up just all these different issues, dude. They're flying. I'm telling you, people are hyped on. Were hyped on this book. 2 issues later, we get them every 2 weeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So issue
about a month later.
Yeah, issue 28, 29. I forget. I'm forgetting off the top of my head right now, so don't quote me on exactly what issue, but they bring Ms. Marvel back.
Yeah.
So 2 issues later, they bring her back.
Yeah.
Right?
I almost said it. I almost said, like, she'll be back.
Well,
yeah.
That's kind of what everybody expected because that's, like, the Marvel pattern.
Right.
At this point in time, you know, like with you could go all the way back from ever since from pretty much when they were what were they Atomic or not I'm forgetting what they were before Marvel, but
yeah,
from the first day they're killing people off and then bringing them back,
right?
You know, so they brought her back quick though, bro.
Yeah, not even
2 issues later.
People weren't even like mourning for her yet.
I just want to point this out. I still haven't read it.
Yeah.
So these are moving fast, bro. I want and that's the thing is that like I'm they come out every 2 weeks, ASM. That's been the pattern for the last 10 years.
Right.
That's their tactic with ASM. The thing is that they're just bringing I think that is just way too quick to bring Miss Marvel back. Right?
I was listening to a podcast. I think it was Variant. And they were kind of talking about they didn't mention ASM or anything like that. They were just mentioning in general, like I think it was like the comparison to like Miles Morales and Peter Parker and how like younger people are gravitating towards Miles and older people can relate more towards Peter having a kid now and all that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. And just like the difference, and they got into like how long is a hero being around too long for that hero to be around. And they were talking about like just all the times that they kill somebody off and bring them back, and they kill somebody, it just makes it not interesting anymore. And like when is it time to like actually kill characters off, and then like bring in new ones like Miles, and bring in new ones like I don't think they talked about anybody other than Miles, but like getting into this new generation of like Ironhearts and Black Panther's sister, and you know, I'm coming from a lot of the movies, but it comes from comic books, so
right.
It's just kind of like how long does Batman need to be Batman before we actually see like Nightwing take over? Because like now he's the leader of the Justice League, and he's got these new powers, but you know, like you just kind of feel like at some point Batman's gonna come back and Nightwing's just gonna fall back into like that Nightwing role. You know what I mean? It's not.
Yeah.
You're just kind of waiting for everything to go back to where it was, and then make the stories kind of mean nothing at that point. You know what I mean? So it is kind of weird, but I also feel like Miss Marvel's like a younger character, so
Kamala Khan, yeah,
like I don't know. it's kind of weird. You just expect it at this point. Like,
yeah, they're doing a lot. They're doing a lot, but it was the marketing behind it. You know, because now at this point, like, so we kind of have to keep going. So this is, like I said, the biggest event in 50 years.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so by 28, 29, she's back.
Mm-hmm.
2 issues later at max. Because by issue 30, at the end, we're getting a panel of Mary Jane in a suit calling herself Jackpot.
Mm-hmm. Jackpot. That's the one thing you told me.
That's a little bit of what I told you about, which they're moving so fast. So now issue 30, we're getting Mary Jane as Jackpot. So now 2 weeks ago, issue 31 came out, and that is her first full appearance. And all I know is that we still have yet to find out exactly what her powers are.
Jackpot. She's just lucky.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much. Is that not her story all the time?
Kind of. Yeah.
She's just kind of lucky and relies on Peter being there.
Right.
Like, what happens when, dude, if he falls out of love with you, you're screwed.
Yeah. But is she, though? Maybe people will leave her alone.
Maybe his Spidey sense won't go off, like if he doesn't want to be with her.
But I'm saying if Spider-Man's not in her life, maybe all these people just leave her alone. She's not getting bothered by all these people every day who's trying to just get to Spider-Man. You know what I mean? Just using her.
He's said this to her multiple times. Like,
but I'm saying, everybody just uses her as collateral damage to get to Spider-Man. So if Spider-Man wasn't there, maybe she'd just be living a normal life.
Right. Maybe if you would have fallen in love with Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah, life would have been so much better.
So much different. Yeah, so much easier.
Right? But so 2 weeks ago, sorry, not last week, we're getting ASM 31, and her suit, I still don't entirely know what it looks like because there's so many different variants of this one. Yeah. And her suit is different in every single one. I'm on League of Comic Geeks, and they do have a 1:25 ratio variant that's a ASM 300 homage, which I think is super cool. That Todd McFarlane type of style, but it's a little bit more realistic, a little bit more shiny. Almost looks painted a little bit. Mixed media. I really enjoy that, but her suit doesn't always look the same. I can't tell if she has like a sweater on, and then one looks like a real suit.
Yeah,
like a sweater and a dress shirt.
I just typed it into Google. It's kind of the one that keeps popping up is like the red with like yellow diamonds on the legs and the white V-neck.
That's the cover that I really like. It almost looks like a what would you call it? Vogue magazine.
Yeah, it kind of looks like she's a dealer at a casino or something, but not.
Yeah, they have one that I kind of like the suit on, but it just looks so much different, and I can't tell what they're trying to do with the suit at this point. But it's kind of homaging her very first panel that she ever showed up in was the last issue of ASM. I'm forgetting the number now, but she shows up and says, "Phasic Tiger, you've just hit the jackpot."
Mm-hmm.
So that's where jackpot kind of comes from. So I'm wondering what's gonna happen with her powers. Like maybe she is just super lucky. She just throws herself out there, wins the fight just by throwing herself.
She just always always in the right place at the right time. Just happens to have everything she needs when she needs it. You know, kind of thing.
Yeah. Just happens to be right in the right moment where she can get captured again.
The bad guy's about to get her, and he slips on an oil slick or a banana peel, and you know, she gets away and doesn't even know somebody's chasing her.
Yeah. So the thing is that we've had an entire issue now, and still no powers. Exactly.
Yeah.
We still don't know exactly what her powers are. So I'm assuming we're going to be getting those in the next coming issues. So now they're slowing down. But now it kind of seems like what happened to Kamala Khan?
Yeah. Yeah, what is the event?
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like what's kind of happening right now?
Is the event that she died, or is the event that Mary Jane got a suit, or is
the event is that she died, and that's what it's supposed to be. But now she's just back so quick, and that's done and over with, and now Mary Jane has a suit. Mary Jane's a superhero, and where are we going to go from there? Especially because we have a lot of characters in this series going on right now.
Yeah.
We have, of course, Spider-Man. We have Dr. Octopus, Jackpot, Kraven the Hunter, Spider-Woman, 8-Ball, Beetle, and Betty Brant. I don't know who Betty Brant is, but we have all those different heroes and protagonists in this story going on right now. And Kamala Khan's nowhere to be found. So
it's also just weird, like, if you weren't gonna do anything with her, why even bring her back and just let that sit for a while? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you made an issue just to bring her back when you weren't even going to do anything with her afterwards.
Exactly. I mean, I don't know what's happening in her own story. I think they have a Miss Marvel chapter going on right now.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. It just doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
What?
But this is all happening in the issues of ASM.
Unless they wanted to, like, have a big event draw you into ASM, right, as they were going to do the Mary Jane thing. So, that brought in the eyes, and then you're like, oh, look. You're like, oh, I wouldn't have even been here if it wasn't for this. But instead, there's just mad people because you just did this pointless thing. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Because I really haven't read it yet, and I need to, but I'm either kind of waiting for like a trade to come out that collects this run.
Right.
I need to find out a little bit more just to try to catch up a little bit, because I want to fully understand where the death is coming from and why they are claiming this to be the biggest event in 50 years. Because when did Secret Wars happen? Not 50 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a 10-issue series.
Yeah.
Which I think turned into 11. The first original, because the black suit happened in 8.
Right. Yeah, I don't. Now I'm just going to get all the 2015 stuff. Where was the original? I'm going to put original.
Secret Wars. Look up Secret Wars issue number 1 and issue number 8. I forget what.
84?
Well, I don't think they hit 80. What? 84? So 80s.
84 to 85. Yeah. There's
so
absolutely no way.
Some odd years ago. 20 years off. I feel like Secret Wars is probably the biggest event within the last 50 years.
For sure. For sure.
Besides, if you're talking, I'm just saying Marvel, because of course I'm not talking Crisis on Infinite Earths, because Crisis is a big freaking deal, and but that's DC.
Right.
So within Marvel, this is supposed to be the biggest event in the last 50 years, and Secret Wars, I feel like, was so much bigger because there's so many different key issues in there. Secret Wars number 3 was the first appearance of the new Titania and stuff like that. So there was a lot of key issues. Almost every other one was a key.
In general, yeah. There was so much happening during Secret Wars. And then, I mean, you've had Secret Wars twice in the last 50 years.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then Secret Invasion. All these secrets.
People have feelings about Secret Invasion, but I'd almost argue just like Miles being a thing is a bigger, like you said, we haven't really read this, but might have to go and like read all comics and read like 5-6 comics in a row just to see where the story is and like why
it's such a big deal to them. I feel like they're just pumping out whatever they can say on social media to try to get us to buy into books, just for them to sell the books at this point. Because, like you just said, Miles happened in 2014. The first appearance of Miles was a way bigger thing than the death of Kamala Khan, because these books are not hitting $1,400, $2,000, $3,000 for one issue graded in a 9.8.
Well, especially after you just undid everything that you did. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I feel like if you would have let it like sit and simmer for longer than a month. You said 2 issues, right?
Yeah. So it would have been maybe a month. Maybe.
Like you let it start spiking, and then you're like, just kidding.
Yeah, and then you yoinked it.
Yeah.
You yoinked it.
Maybe maybe that was just a big middle finger to resellers. It's like,
I mean, maybe it was. The thing is that most resellers actually read their books.
yeah,
And actually enjoy these stories. You know what I'm saying? Like, this was something that I was planning on getting the whole run and reading. You know, I was
Yeah.
like, this is something so cool that it's supposed to be really cool. I'm like, this is my turn. I wasn't born in the 80s. This is my turn to get in on a Secret Wars type of event. You know, something that I thought was going to be 10 issues, not freaking one, realistically.
yeah.
Because you had one issue, skipped one, she's back.
I almost feel like, I don't know. I feel kind of like that way about this ASM stuff in general a little bit, just because like in the last few months, like they used ASM to get into Gold Goblin, and then there was some Gold Goblin
Yeah.
stuff, and then it's like, okay, bye. And then
Well,
they
they
got
did it with Red Goblin before that.
they got was Red Goblin before? Regardless, both the goblins.
Yeah.
And then they brought Craven back, and then they're like, okay, that's done. And then you know what I mean? It's
Well,
like,
now he's back.
yeah, but didn't the haunt or whatever, the last haunt or whatever, didn't that kind of start with ASM, or like there was
Yeah,
one
the last
there
haunt.
was like one or two issues that kind of got you like,
I think
hey,
it was
Craven's
in the
over there.
Sensational Spider-Man series or something.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just feel like they just keep doing that, where it's like, hey, check out this huge thing or this cool thing or this new character or this, you know, this event, and it's
Yeah.
like it's super cool, and then they do like 4, 5, 6 issues of something, and then it's gone. It's like that.
Right.
That's not as cool as I thought it was. Like,
The thing is that like what is too much as far as when it comes to like marketing and stuff like that. What is going too far and saying too much? Like, because I feel like with their quote of biggest event in the last 50 years, they bit off way more than they can chew, especially for 2 issues. You know what I'm saying? Because like there's so many other fans that you know have been buying ASM from the 80s, from the 70s, you know, so some people have never not been subscribed to ASM, so they have every single issue, and they've been buying it for the last 2 weeks since the 80s.
Yeah,
you know,
I feel like somewhere in between what we say about DC and what we're seeing from Marvel. You know what I mean? Because like DC, I think, has been doing things like that, like some huge events that like should be talked about more. But you don't really see any kind of marketing. You know what I mean? We said the same thing about the movies and their comics and everything from DC.
yeah, I think they're
And
doing
then-
really successfully, like, or having a really successful run with Night Terrors right now.
Well, look at what they did. They took over every book from DC for like 2 months or whatever.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? They finally did something where the Lazarus Planet stuff that could have been a huge deal. And like, I don't feel like they talked about it at all. You know what I mean? Other than seeing a couple cool variants, even like the One Bad Day stuff, like other than you talking about it, I don't see that really anywhere. Now there's like a box collection of it now, but
yeah, I see people talking about it every once in a while on Instagram, but it's like certain issues. I kind of stopped picking it up after Clayface.
But I'm saying, like, I don't feel like DC did a lot to like put it out there, where like now on the other side you have Marvel, like, this is the biggest event in 50 years. You know, it's
Right.
like, this must be crazy.
Exactly. And that's the thing, is like, how much can we trust Marvel when it comes to quotes like that at this point? Because, you know, I would have enjoyed this whole thing going on for 10, 20 issues.
Yeah, or just don't bring her back for 5 years.
Yeah, or branch off into a new a new Secret Wars, a new Death of Kamala Khan, whatever you want to call this whole thing, this event. Break it off into another story. The thing, I think their marketing tactic is looking at the fact that, well, we have so many people buying ASM every week because there's new fans buying it every week. There's old fans buying it every week, you know, and there's fans. I was just talking to somebody at one of the shops that we go to all the time, was saying that, like, I'm not even into the ASM stuff. I just pick it up because I have for the last 20 years. Like,
yeah.
I don't know why I don't not subscribe. I just do.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
so like they're kind of relying on that. And I feel like when it comes to these events and stuff like that, they have to use ASM because they know like that's their big money book. That's their big seller. So they use that as a marketing tactic to start a story, but now they just end it right away.
Right, yeah.
You know, and that's
what I'm saying.
The frustrating part to me is like you had something really cool happening here because you're having such a big fan base right now, an influx of fans with going towards like Miss Marvel.
Yeah, and the Marvels.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Because she's in that.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
So like this could have been something really, really cool. You could have adapted that whole event into the show and made everything go more, you know, and made it a bigger event than Secret Wars.
I think just regardless, like if you would have just left it alone for a while, if you're not going to use her, then you would have had the same thing happen a year from now, 2 years from now, whenever you want to use her again, as the second coming, the resurrection. You know what I mean? The she's back kind of big spike. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The thing is,
and have
yeah,
her come
exactly.
back in a big way.
I've never seen something happen so fast like that. Most of the time, it's like they're dead, and then they're dead for 6 months to at least 6 months to a year, if not 2 to 3 years.
Even when you started saying this, though, I was like, you better deliver, Marvel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I knew it was coming. Everybody knows it was coming. Dang.
Right.
But that was a lot faster than I thought it was coming.
Exactly, because now it's like I'm excited about the death of Kamala Khan. I'm excited about Mary Jane turning into Jackpot. The thing is that now I'm looking at Instagram and everybody's like, I hate the suit. I don't understand the suit. Or this is stupid.
Oh yeah, you can't do that.
Just don't look online. Don't go to Reddit.
You gotta stay away from that. Yeah, you gotta stay away from that.
Yeah. You know, so I messed up by going to Reddit, but you know, so a lot of people are hating on Mary Jane being Jackpot, but I feel like that's just a problem with a lot of people. Is that they don't like seeing, like we've said so many times, women leads and women heroes for some reason, unless they're origin that way. You know, Mary Jane's been around for how long? 40 some odd years. So about time, I think.
Yeah. If she's gonna stick around and not die, like she's got to have a reason. Yeah,
like why does Gwen get bit but Mary Jane doesn't?
Yeah, I mean. That's a different universe, and we could get into a million.
It is, but that's like my whole thing. But
there's gotta be if there's.
Why doesn't Spider-Man's love interest always get bit? Why can't that be the canon event?
But I feel like there's got to be a universe where Peter's not bit and MJ is, right?
There was a universe where Gwen was bit and not Peter.
But we've seen all these infinite universes of different Spider-Man things happening, and this happens and that happens. There's got to be one of...
I don't know, Marvel. Let's see the biggest event in the last year.
Let's see the biggest event in the last 72 hours, Marvel. Come on.
Yeah, they're going to do it
Come on down.
every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, man. But, yeah. This has
Marvel
got me all
book,
sorts of ups and downs.
Since the last Marvel book.
What's up?
This Marvel book, the biggest event since the last Marvel book.
Yeah. You know, big words, big shoes, and big footsteps left to fill. And I really don't think that they succeeded all that much with this event.
Yeah, I feel like the only way that they could, like we said, we haven't read it. I wanna go read it now, but I was kind of waiting to see. I wanted to learn about this stuff on the podcast with you. So now that we're done with that, I want to go see how it played out. And I feel like the only way they could kind of benefit from this whole thing that they put themselves in is if like somehow her dying was a reason that MJ got her powers. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
But also, like, at the same time, if that's the thing, like, why don't you have that playing out for an extended period of time and then MJ brings her back or something? You know what I mean? Like,
right.
I don't know if there's any way that you can make this short period of death, like, worth it in the story. It just doesn't make sense. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
So what you're telling me is she's stronger than Superman. Because Superman was dead for a lot longer than that.
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, man.
We'll see. How do you feel, just right at the end, how do you feel about that conversation that I think it was Variant that said it's time to start killing off these big staples and bringing a new generation? Like, what, I guess, like, how would you feel about seeing Batman or Superman, you know, like the OGs, like, just never come back?
Batman, never going to happen. I don't think. I think Batman is too big of a character. I think Superman is definitely a possibility, at least for the time being, and then there's going to be a big Superman influx, and everybody's going to want Superman to come back.
But I'm saying, like, just accepting the fact that, like, these people should be aging out, and you know what I mean?
Dying.
Yeah. Like,
they're 80 years old.
What if they actually were like, we have to do this for the money, and like when we can do this for the story and we can bring in a new generation? How would you feel about that?
If they completely got rid of them, I would be very upset.
Yeah, that's kind of what I was asking. Not like they can't do it because of this and they can't do it because of that. Like, how would you feel if you never saw Superman again?
That would suck. That would suck a lot, honestly. You know, the thing is, I mean, I've never been put with such a hard question, Jake. Like,
yeah, right.
That's a good question, dude. Because, like, I haven't been buying Superman.
Yeah.
And I haven't bought anything new Superman in quite some time.
Yeah, I feel like I would be bummed if, like, Batman wasn't around anymore. But
Batman,
also at the same time,
Batman, like, no way.
At the same time, though, it'd be like, be one of those old guys, you know what I mean? Like, I remember Batman, and that's how you guys got your new generation. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like,
that's how you got Catman.
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 Sounds like a furniture, like I don't know, like a furniture commercial.
Do you remember the Crimson Chin?
Why? I feel like I do. What is that?
Chin. It was my favorite superhero growing up. I swear, it was better than Batman.
Really?
Nope. But it was Fairly Odd Parents.
Oh no, I never watched that.
No, dude,
I didn't have cable. I've never had cable. I had cable for like 2 years of my life, and it was not when I was younger.
You gotta do me a favor. You gotta go back. You gotta go and watch the first season of Fairly Odd Parents.
I just recently watched SpongeBob. Like, I've always watched like episodes here and there, like when it's on TV somewhere I am. But like, I recently watched like 4 or 5 seasons of it.
Damn.
But I was a big Tick. The Tick was my big thing growing up. There was an animated.
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah, that was on when I was a kid.
That was a good one, dude. That was a good one. I think you always bring up He-Man.
Yeah.
As far as the old shows, you watch a lot of He-Man.
It's actually He-Man books. I would go to the library, and everybody would be buying like, or like checking out like real books, and I'd just be like getting He-Man and looking at the pictures. That's all I did.
Dude, it's great.
That was my like elementary school. I would just go in the library, He-Man, look at the pictures.
You know, dude,
next He-Man.
That's a great introduction into comic books.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think they were even
Spider-Man and Bone for me.
I don't think that they weren't comic books. They was like the hard bound like kids books. Yeah.
I know what you're saying. Still,
or something like that. Calvin and Hobbes was definitely like my first comic book.
Tight. There you go.
It was like I think one of my sisters got me like three of like the paperbacks, and it was just like these big Calvin and Hobbes books. So
that's tight.
That was awesome.
Start a mini omnibus collection.
Yeah, I don't have them anymore. I don't think. Who knows where they would be?
Dang, man.
I've moved many times since then.
Right. So is my emotions getting through this podcast with this death of Kamala Khan and Mary Jane is a superhero, and it sounds fake.
Yeah. It's crazy.
Sounds like I'm making stuff up, but I'm not.
This was an eventful podcast, you know,
yeah.
from the devastating news at the beginning to getting into wrestling cards, and then more Marvel
BS.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, there's a word I'm thinking of, but I can't think of it. Let's go.
You probably
All
can't say it right now.
Debauchery.
Yeah. There you go. Keep it PG. But yeah,
disappointment. That's what I was thinking. Disappointment, like more disappointment from Marvel. But I did have a. I'm just gonna keep talking, I guess. I was talking to my nephew that we took to see Ninja Turtles, and I was like talking to him about Blue Beetle. I was like, "Hey, have you seen it?" Blah blah blah. And he's like, "I don't want to see it." I was like, "It's pretty good." I'm like, "Why don't you want to see it?" He's like, I don't watch anything that's not Marvel, really." So there are people on the other side.
They got that cult following, man.
Yeah,
they
get
them at a young age. I'm not watching nothing that's not Marvel.
I know he does watch, because he's the one that told me about the animated Brave and the Bold series, which is like the only place I've ever seen Blue Beetle. So like he knows about it and stuff like that, but I just don't think he's always got like Spider-Man action figures and all kinds of stuff like that.
Tight.
Stuff. So he's just more of a Marvel guy.
Getting into the cool shiz.
All right. Be sure to check out the description for free money. Use the code or use the link to sign up for Whatnot. Get $10 when you use that link to sign up. 10% off your Jitterless Energy, w.gg. Use code Collective Comics to check out. And until next time, this has been Collective Comics.
We'll see you.